Hey, aren't you Quentin Smith of the popular board game website Shut Up and Sit Down? What are you doing here on Kickstarter?
Matthew, we need to talk about the metagame.
The metagame? What's that? Is it a cool board game?
Actually, it's 10 cool board games in one box.
That's impossible.
What? No, give me a minute. What you get with the metagame is a massive deck of colourful prompts like "this would make the strangest fetish ever," "which goes best with a beer and a hot dog," or "this could have been designed by a child," and an even bigger deck of beautifully illustrated stuff. From the Hunger Games to Riverdance, from PowerPoint to the electric chair.
Great, but what do you actually do with it?
Well, I like to just put it on my shelf and feel smug that I own such a lovely object. But you can actually use the metagame to play a load of great games. One of my favourites is the Metaquilt, where players take turns to add to a pretty tapestry on the table, trying to reduce their hands to nothing, and challenging players if they think they have a better card for that slot. If I want a relaxing time, I like Special Occasion, where players have to try and present you with the best gift from their hand on a day of your choice. Perhaps you're remarrying for the 5th time, or it's the funeral of a beloved snake. But that's just the start. You could also try the rapid-fire head-to-head mode, the high-intensity debate club where the number of judges grows as your hand of cards shrinks, or even the massively multiplayer metagame, a game that exists within an ordinary party or work event, like a board game sleeper agent. It even suggests that you can play the public domain game of Celebrity but without saying any of the words on the cards, which resembles monikers on methadone.
She is a lady who is outside of a town.
The metagame is equal parts gorgeous object and box of fun. We said as much when we reviewed it on Shut Up and Sit Down a couple of years ago, and today it's getting even better.
What? Why?
It's because of us.
Oh, I remember now. Yes, Shut Up and Sit Down is making an expansion by collaborating with the designers of the metagame to create Metagame, the game's expansion, Game Away.
That's not what it's called.
Definitely is. It's definitely called that. A wad of new opinion cards and a whack of new lovely looking culture cards to embiggen and embolden your copy of the metagame with stuff that's all to do with games. The metagame itself has some games, but we've chosen a few key elements of human culture that slipped the team by, like hot dog eating contests and Dance Dance Revolution. 2 activities that haven't seen such close proximity since my 14th birthday. And this time I don't have to clear up afterwards. And there's no reason for anyone to call the fire brigade.
From Minecraft to Ouija boards, from Magic the Gathering to a tug of war, Metagame, the game's expansion, will drag your copy of the metagame into the 21st century, back to 2000 BC, and back into the 21st century again like a boomerang made of Jesus.
Now it's important to know that you'll want the base set of the metagame to ensure that you've got enough cards to keep replaying it.
But if you're just playing a couple of games, you can fit an entire game's worth of cards in the expansion box. So what I like to do is pop some of my favourite cards in one of these little expansion boxes and slip it in my pocket and hit the club. Does anyone in this club want to play the game, the metagame? Hey, Matt, which tells a better story?
Yeah?
Is it Clueless or is it Shaft? Yeah, I also think Shaft tells a better story.
Let's just have fun!
Yeah!
Quentin Smith, I love you. And I love the metagame.
How did you get so drunk? We didn't drink anything and this is a green screen. Finally, if you'd like to know more, a very generous print and play version of the metagame is available at metagame.me. If you have a printer and some scissors and a friend and a willingness to combine all 3, you could be playing the metagame 10 minutes from now.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody. And if you have any questions, just drop us a comment below.